Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the channel. I thought I'd just do a quick video on the BMW R1250 GSA, A for Adventure. I've owned this just over 12 months now. We'll go through the menu and you can see that I've had it just under 15,000 Ks. I actually picked it up with 612 Ks on it as a demo model at Bryson's in Newcastle, and quickly put another 450 Ks on it and took it back to dealerships for its 1000 K service and shipped it to Perth for my trip across Australia. So I'm just checking again. Also, I've got a DJI mic in my helmet, so I'm making sure that's working too, so hopefully this is coming through crystal clear. Yeah, so it's a little evening stroll while my daughter is at cheerleading, so I thought I'd go for a little ride through the back roads of where I reside in the back of Newcastle. So you can see Mount Sugarloaf through there if you can. What's my thoughts on the BMW? It is an excellent bike. The quick shift is great. Having a 30-litre tank gives me just around 600k range, unladen. So if going across Australia, when I had it fully loaded up with about 40 kilos of weight and myself, I was getting about 525 Ks to the tank on average. So but still, great touring bike depending on what tyre choice you have. I currently got 50/50 tyres on this, so I can take it off road. But I've actually got on the back at the moment a Dunlop Trial Max braid in the 170 size. I'm not too fond of it because it's not the best off dirt and it's not the best off road. It's sort of everything in between. I think I'd want something a little bit more grippy on road if I'm going to stay on road, a lot of road riding. But if I go off road, I need something that's going to bite, like a Pirelli Scorpion, a Motos. I might try the Midas next. But yeah, still planning a big trip across Australia next year, so I've got to get something that's going to last about 7,000 Ks. These tyres seem to be lasting about 3,000 to 4,000 the way I ride. What else can I say? The digital layout, as you can see, you've got the digital speedo here. With you scroll through up the top here, you've got your trip meter, the average fuel, which is 5.4 at the moment, which has been I probably can get down to 5 pretty easily, or just under 5 if I'm not twisting that throttle as much. You've got all these options. You've got telephone, which I won't go into because you go for the phone book, call list. You got media, and at the moment I've got it linked up to my phone, so you can go through all the songs if you like. Remote start, haven't had any issues here. The only issue I found the only issue I found in the last 12 months is the electronic fuel cap has been jammed, but I've worked out if you give it a bit of a bang with you, I won't do that again. If you bang it when you stop it, it actually pops up. So it's not too much of a drama. Bit of WD-40 in there before you use it in a dusty conditions, you'll be right. The wheel itself is great. You can skip songs, as you can see. Cruise control. I can put cruise on, click the lever, and there we go. We've got 82 Ks an hour. 80 kilometre zone here, so it works quite well in any gear. And you get up and down that. It's great. What else can I say about this bike? It's very, very comfortable to stand up on. Great all-rounder. If you're going to go up to the Cape, or if you're going to go across Australia, or if you're just going to go down to the Starbucks, it's going to do you well. The windscreen, you can't wind it up over 80 Ks an hour. We're going to turn here actually. We're going to go for a little squirt through here. But yeah, they handle really well. Please. The quick shift is great. Have a look at this. Beautiful summer's afternoon. It's currently 23 degrees. It's actually a cool day compared to what we're going to get in the next few weeks. 1 week and 2 days out before Christmas. The road's really chopped up here. But this will give you a good idea of the GS going through rough conditions. Look, it just goes through. This has got ESA on it, so electronic suspension. Look at this. So here's a suspension button here, and you got dynamic. You can change the left side on the fly to road. Road will give you a little bit more bumps, and you go to dynamic. I'll pull up here. I'll show you the other side, the roads, and then if you're stopped and you go to the right side of the suspension, you hold it down harder, and it goes to max height or max load, and then you can change it to minimum. Minimum will actually drop the rear down, so yeah, essentially you can as you can see, the rear's going down now, and and it's gone right down. So if you've got passengers, minimal weight, you can drop that down, and then hold it down again, you go back to auto, and it'll go back up as you ride, and we're at dynamic auto. That's what I'd pretty much ride it as. If you go through the modes here, you can actually choose, you get 7 modes, which I've got at road, and dynamic pro, which I'd never use, enduro, which I always use. That's off-road. They'll take the traction and the ABS off. You can always take it off there too. See, off, on, and then you have rain mode, which will dull the throttle response, and then you got road. And if you want to, you can actually change it on the fly, which is great with BMWs. And how you do it is just put it in and then just give the throttle a flick and reset it back to normal, and you'll be sweet. In your menu, if you want to look, you can actually go, you've got information. So you can actually see the temperature, you can see your volts, you can see all your pressures, you can go through, you can see your service history, you can see your, the total trips, and then you can go to your trip meter, computer, tyre pressures, and that's the spec. Spec is 36 in the front, 42 in the rear when you're riding road, and then it'll actually tell you how many Ks you got left, and the appointment date saying I should get a service now, but how many Ks remain until your next service. How cool is that? And we'll get going. I think we're in road mode. There we go, put it in dynamic. Love to see the Australian flag out there. Yeah, in the comments section, let me know if you know where I am. I've got an hour spare to go for a ride, so go for a little ride. Yeah, with this quick shifter, you don't need to use it up or down. See, I'm watching the gears. Very, very clean. And going down, I don't very rarely use it going down, but going up, you hear that? So here we are on my BMW R1250 GSA, late 23 model. Today we're just testing out my DJI Mini mic. I got one in my helmet, got a mic in my helmet, and I've got a mic in my backpack. Apparently if you put one out the back, out of the wind noise, and cover it a bit, you actually get pretty good exhaust noise. So let's see if that happens. And we'll go to one of my favourite little stops. I've got about an hour up my sleeve. So let's go. Hopefully this little crossing here is alright. Yeah, nice out here. This is Mount Vincent, if you're wondering. Beautiful part of the start of the Hunter Valley. Yeah, so if you're wondering about should you spend 170 bucks on a mini mic kit, which gives you 2 mics and a receiver, and you actually can see the receiver is here attached to my GoPro. Yeah, So far, so good. This is a great little road. Little quick shifter. Both mics are working. Let me know in the comments what you think, or if you've actually bought a Mic Mini kit. I've actually got a Cena, as you can see, a little Cena system, and it has a mic, built-in mic, but I tried the Bluetooth system in it, it didn't really work. The clarity didn't come out, it broke up. Sometimes it would hook up with the GoPro, sometimes it didn't. And then I tried the lapel mic that just sort of wide underneath the helmet, and that was only picking up one channel. So now I'm trying this setup, which is a Bluetooth, but has a receiver, and I'm able to run 2 mics. So just let me know. Let's listen to the sound of this exhaust at the back. Yeah. Look at that. Beautiful spot. Wonder if this house is still for sale. Tried to sell this little house here for ages. Still for sale. Every time it rains, it floods in that plane. If I ever got some coin, I'd buy a house in this valley. Or that house up there, it's not too bad. If you're coming up from Sydney or down the coast and you're here on a Saturday morning between 8 and 10, a great little spot where I'm going to stop for a second, and all the bikes meet up here and then they go riding around these valleys. What we're talking about when you go for a ride, it's the famous oak factory. It's closed up at the moment, but come here, all the bikes parking there. Come here on a Saturday morning, there's market, oh, dodgy markets, but markets on. There's toilets here, there's fuel here. Yeah. Private, I'm about to do some safety work. Yeah. The Oak Freeman's Waterhole. If you look it up at the Oak Milk Bar. It's on a Saturday morning. What you'll get is you'll get all the bikes parked here. Everyone having a coffee and an egg back and roll before they go up the Wattigans. This is the base of the Wattigans. As you can see, it's quite rainforesty. Hello, me. Yeah. I was going to actually go for a milkshake if they were open, but they're not. The seat on this bike is so comfortable. I've got a little a netted seat cover, tops it off. I actually got this as this is what they call the COVID model, so you missed out on the heated seat, but generally you would have got the heated seat, but I basically got this $8,000 cheaper than brand new, so I'm not arguing. And it doesn't have the software to just chuck a heated seat on and switch it on. Never need it. I don't feel like that. I don't feel like I want that sensation of I'm peeing my pants when I turn the heated seat on. Anyway, I rode in -2 and I didn't think I needed, so famous Freeman's Drive. This is a nice, if you come up from Sydney and you go to, instead of just going straight up the freeway, turning off, and then you're at the Oak Factory, get off at YE Sparks Road, or get off at Morisset and just do this nice windy section. That's the Wattigans right there. So there is a lookout up there called Heaton's Lookout. Very easy to get to. You can get up there with almost any car. It is a very blue metal gravel road, so it's quite steep, but you could get a low-key SUV up there easily. Yeah, that's north. That's towards Sydney, down the M1. Now this is the road you want to take if you want to go to Heaton's Lookout, which is Mount Fork Road. Just right here, where it says mountain biking track. Go down that road, turns into gravel after about 4 k's. And if you really want to be adventurous, you can buy a Holden Captiva.
Sometimes the waves, they keep on crashing in. Sometimes the rain, it never seems to end. I'll be alright, my friend, if you stay by my side. Sometimes our worries get the best of us. Sometimes the hardest we try is not enough. All will be well as long as you stay.
Okay, we're coming into a little town called Cooranbong. Fun fact, Cooranbong is the birthplace of 7-day Adventists in Australia. How do I know that? I used to live in the street where it started. There's a doggy on the road. Oh. We'll try again with these exhaust, see what it sounds like. And miss the police and just as I test the exhaust.
You help me take this weight off my shoulders. Always run my way when I call you. You're the anchor I'm holding tight on to. You are my home away from home. Home away from home. Home away from home.
This is a first. I've never had to stop here. How long is this sucker? Oh, come to the end of it. Never, ever, ever, over the 15 years I've lived here, I've ever had to stop at this crossing. That's so cool.